Every time we launch a rocket into orbit, we burn through $5 million in fuel just to overcome Earth's gravity. It is an act of chemical violence, where most of the high-precision hardware is destroyed after a single use. This chart shows the current cost of reaching space, $2,720 for every single kilogram of payload. The goal of this 15-year blueprint is to drop that number to exactly $10. The Obayashi Corporation plans to achieve this by replacing combustion with a 96,000-kilometer static elevator. Instead of an explosion, payloads will ride a mechanized climber powered by electricity, moving up a continuous cable fixed to the Earth's surface. This is an engineering firm with experience in extreme vertical construction. They are the builders of the Tokyo Skytree, currently the tallest tower in Japan. The limiting factor for this plan is the cable material itself, carbon nanotube fiber. While it is theoretically strong enough to hold the weight of a skyscraper while weighing less than a truck, it is still being refined. Test samples are currently undergoing microgravity analysis on the International Space Station. Reaching orbit reliably doesn't require a better engine, it requires a breakthrough in material science that allows us to treat space travel as a structural engineering problem. Construction begins in the Pacific with the Earthport. Workers will weld a 400-meter floating steel ring designed with 24 watertight compartments and a hull built to the standards of a submarine. It is engineered to stay afloat in equatorial storms for a century. Stability is provided by 48,000 tons of concrete ballast and 12 thruster pods that steer the ring in open water. To ensure the port never moves, it is anchored by high-strength alloy steel mooring chains weighing 6,000 tons. Once the port is operational, a final rocket carries a 20-ton payload of carbon nanotube ribbon to geostationary orbit. This schematic shows the deployment. From 36,000 kilometers up, a motorized spool starts turning. It feeds the ribbon down toward Earth while simultaneously extending a counterweight outward into deep space to keep the center of mass balanced. As the ribbon enters the atmosphere, the Earthport capture crew snags it and lowers it to the deck. Workers then manually thread the fiber, which is thinner than a human hair, into tensioning drums to create the first physical link between the ocean and orbit. This seed cable is fragile and easily degraded by salt spray and oxygen. It is only the first step in a massive reinforcement operation that will take over a decade to complete. In its initial state, the ribbon is at constant risk. A single kink during deployment or a few months of exposure to solar radiation could cause the carbon bonds to fail, snapping the connection. To harden the structure, specialized climbers are built in Japan. These machines use heavy steel chassis and magnetic linear motors that grip the ribbon with roller units, allowing them to ascend without using friction that could tear the fiber. These climbers don't carry their own fuel. Instead, power beams up from a laser transmitter dish on the Earthport deck, hitting receiver panels on the underside of the vehicle to drive the motors. By utilizing these autonomous machines, the project can slowly build up the cable's strength by layering new material over the original seed thread. This is a grueling, long-term industrial process. Over the next 14 years, 510 individual reinforcement climbers will be launched from the Earthport in a continuous cycle. Inside each machine, a bonding head takes a fresh spool of ribbon and presses it onto the existing cable. This adds strength millimeter by millimeter, with the control room tracking the quality of every bond in real time. Maintenance is constant. On the Earthport dock, crews swap out worn rollers and recalibrate sensors for returning climbers. Below the clouds, they use contact trolleys to inspect the line for damage after lightning strikes or equatorial storms. The project reaches critical tipping points as the cable thickens. By year 6, the line is strong enough to carry heavier spools, allowing factories to retool for wider ribbon and workers to install larger guide rollers on the terminal tower. At year 14, the final thickness of the ribbon is achieved. For the first time, the terminal load cells confirm the cable can accept a full 100-ton design load. After 14 years of relentless mechanical labor, the fragile thread has been reinforced into a permanent, invincible track. In year 15, the climbers shift from hauling reinforcement ribbon to transporting modular station components. These sections are bolted together by robotic arms at the 36,000-kilometer node. Working 8-day shifts, crews install life support systems and assemble a segmented gravity ring designed to simulate Martian gravity for the residents. To balance this massive orbital complex, a 12,500-ton counterweight is assembled module by module at the outer end of the tether. At 96,000 kilometers, the mass of the counterweight pulls the entire cable taut against the Earthport's anchorage. Passenger climbers follow the same path. Instead of the noise and pressure of a rocket launch, travelers experience an 8-day silent ascent through the atmosphere and the Van Allen belts, arriving at the station in a pressurized cabin. This logistical shift achieves the ultimate goal. By removing the need for single-use hardware and chemical propellants, the cost of reaching orbit falls from over $2,000 to exactly $10 per kilogram. The system is now a permanent industrial terminal. 5 climbers move payloads and crews simultaneously, maintained by a rotating staff of welders and mechanics who monitor every bolt and sensor from the Pacific to the geostationary station. By treating space as a structural engineering challenge, this blueprint replaces the volatility of rocket launches with a $10 per kilogram transit line to the rest of the solar system.